Oi, you! Stop camping in Victory Track! Well, look, I am one of these people. No, I'm not. Look, there's a lot of things to this that meets the eye, and it does include the problem that sometimes I just don't want to play Battlegrounds. I have to, and we'll go over why Kabam say you don't have to do everything. But again, we find hypocrisy in some of those particular statements based on things in game. But this is all kind of come about by this really interesting thread. I love like dialogue, even though there might be some a large quantity of people that disagree with this particular thread. What it does, it starts conversation, and I think conversation is good because then Kabam see it and they go, right, well, let's look into what players are saying. They take on sentiment from the player base, and then what they do is they're able to action changes. A lot of things are still planned from Kabam, and I think there's something to do with improving Victory Track down the line, but that went silent a long time ago, so I don't know. But here's the thing, as I said, I am technically part of the problem of this. So let's read the thread and also some of the feedback, and also I'll talk about my experience and why I'm currently down in lower in Victory Track, based on reasons which will, sort of illustrates the problem and why I'm the problem, but I don't think that it's fair to lumber the problem on me. Let's kind of read more. Anyway, let's go into this. So, Jafekta says, it's starting to be a little annoying to play versus people with rank 3 7 stars, full rosters of rank 5 or rank 2 7 stars with the newest champions ascended and all that. This players should be in Gladiator Circuit at high ranks, and they are camping the Victory Track, and man, kind of get tired of it since that's added to the awful AI and the draft RNG. That the AI, I'm getting input issues actually recently, but the draft RNG, yeah, I get that. I sympathise. It's starting to get just outrageous. Kabam should implement something that does not allow that big accounts to just camp on Victory Track like this. Since there isn't matchmaking after Plat, we are just eating high account Valiant as till that last day, and we're going to wait till the last day to be able to play versus player that really belong to Vibranium or Gladiator Circuit low ranks. Maybe it's just the 4 losses in a row versus those players, half due to draft and half due to the AI, but this just doesn't make sense why you have brackets and ranks if people will stay the lower they can till the last days, forcing the rest of the players are not. We get the idea with that, yeah. Look, I get it. It's frustrating for players. It is when it comes to these particular bits of matchmaking. I'm matching against some people where, look, if I mess up, and look, over the weekend and over the last few days, last day or two, I have messed up. I lost fights where I should have played better. I've won fights where I've done a lot better. But at the same time, it may be that my roster is bigger than theirs. I don't know if I did a little bit of research in some of the accounts. Some of them kind of match up correctly. Some don't. And that's the kind of the rough and the smooth when it comes to Battlegrounds at this moment in time. But here's the thing. I'm not overly interested in Battlegrounds as I used to be. Mainly because I just can't invest the extent of time required to get like as far as possible. I just don't have it. Like, okay, I lost 2. What is since starting this season? I'm on a, I'd say, was it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, of the 11, lost 2. So what's that? Like 90%? Bless you, Em. 90% win rate, or 85%. I don't know what they come to the breakdown of it, but I'm on a good win rate at the moment. So that's all right. However, though, the problem is, I didn't get that active last season, so it means that I'm thrusted further down. Okay, didn't put any effort, but the problem is I then cause a problem for other people based on this particular circumstance. The other circumstantial thing that's a little bit annoying at the moment is the further that I go up, I have to do, like, I could have taken or leave and done Battlegrounds and just give people a load of wins just while I farm Alliance points, because here's the thing, and again to reiterate, I'm not that fussed in the mode at the moment. I used to be really interested in it. I was really dedicated to the mode, then really liked it, and then I just felt that this is just a mode that doesn't have that much love. The rewards haven't been good in a long time. Just the level of effort versus what you take home. I find it very grindy, and I'm also trying to save a lot of time just so I can have a life, but also do other things in the game. And that's the biggest thing, isn't it? Oh, do I go and do the Deathless Guillotine objective? No, you got to do some Battlegrounds. Oh, but Kabam will say differently. They'll go, you don't have to do everything. Okay, well, there's some runestones that are there. And a lot of alliances have requirements. Now, again, this is nothing against like my alliance. They're being incredibly accommodating to say, well, Rich, you don't have to put in, a substantial amount of points. But that's not fair on everybody, is it? They were very kind, with the passing and of my nan last month, and the stuff that stuff with my dad, and also the month before, January, I was I said, is it possible to just get a month pass so I can get 100% and be Valiant, which obviously is of benefit to the Alliance because we're using some of my champions in defense. So and that's the thing. It's weird that I have to ask permission to kind of like reduce point thresholds because I won't have any time. I'll run out of time. I have still put in points during those particular periods, not a lot, but I've put some in. So I've been doing something. But this month I want to at least, or this season, is do something. But as I said, the knock-on effect from all those particular things is it causes a problem elsewhere for other people. Also myself, because obviously you've got to invest in the time. And it's difficult as well, because as I said, the knock-on effect is because Kabam add in the runestones, it means a lot of high accounts are trying to get those runestones, and especially for free to play, because the only way you can access getting the 7-star Nightcrawler is by getting to Vibranium, getting to Gladiator Circuit and getting those runestones, which again causes the problem that more of those accounts are in that particular field. So it's such a big issue at the moment, and this is obviously created by Kabam. Kabam will say, no, this is all about competitive space. It's like there's a lot of kind of like stuff that Kabam I don't think understand, but I think by this thread they might see themselves understand. Nemesis, I feel your pain. Vibranium is stacked with big accounts right now. The problem is large accounts have essentially no incentive to get to Gladiator Circuit early if they don't like the meta or don't grind Battlegrounds. I'm one of them. I don't think necessarily camping or point farming, since that's now bannable, but I'm sure there's a lot of large accounts that are in no rush to get to Gladiator Set quickly, and it creates a bit of a bottleneck. I think I don't agree with all of that, especially when it says like I'm sure there's a lot of large accounts that are in no rush. I think a lot of large accounts are sort of in a rush. Like I'm sort of in a rush, but of course if something trips you up, then you kind of go, well, I've lost 2, I'm not making any gains. Do you continue? People will just go, nah, I'm not fussed with this, I'm going to go do something else. And they'll come back to it at another stage. But the bottleneck, I 100% agree with. I think that's an excellent point. Bottlenecking in this mode is 100% what is happening. Players of these large accounts are bottlenecking. And what does this cause? Problems elsewhere. It's not just in that kind of Vibranium like area. It's lower as well. It is happening lower, even if you get into a certain point. I mean, a good example over the weekend was that I think I saw like an image of somebody facing off against Seaton. Now Seaton woke up, I think, like just kind of do a few Battlegrounds, and it's like, look, you kind of win. Like it's very unlikely you would win against Seaton's account, depending on obviously what Seaton was using at the time. But you get an idea, don't you, of going like, right, well, he would have had to have a bit of a mare when it comes to like the play, but instead he did a W, and even though the person was gracious in defeat, it still set that player back. So you that's that again, and that was I think when I saw that image, it was like a platinum or diamond kind of area. So again, gives you a bit of an idea with that. And yeah, I think this is again another point that players do wait around. I normally do a 2 weeks and in segment as well. Usually avoid the first 2 weeks of the Gladiator Circuit because the meta is usually annoying, and only the last 2 GC weeks matter with placement. So I mean, I don't completely kind of like do that, but you get the idea. You get the idea. There's no point on camping. People just don't push because the rewards are bad. I mean, it's a relevant point as well, but I think there's a lot more to this. Yep, some ain't camping though. Some could be getting matchups they don't win. So saying that their camping isn't what they're doing. It's just like you are losing, so they can't reach the Gladiator Circuit. And that's the thing, isn't it? That's the problem with this particular mode. It's not live PvP, it's PvPvE. And with this being all of that, of course, there's the pitfalls of going, look, losing sucks. Duh, welcome to the real world. And of course, sucks when it comes to this game because you're like, great, I invested 2 hours and I'm treading water, not getting anywhere. Like, that's the other side of things with it. Even worse, when you have to do it. You have to do Battlegrounds at the moment. Just like next month, I'm pretty certain they're doing an incursions-based thing. You have to do incursions to get the full amount of rewards or items from it. Now, that's not the end of the world because there are some great stuff with grabbing shards, grabbing, if Kabam put it in, dark artifacts, and not dark artifacts, incursion artifacts. And yeah, just other stuff as well within that particular mode. I mean, I like that mode. Differences with, like, and people will be different. You're like, I like Battlegrounds. Okay, good. But I don't like incursions. Okay, fine. So Kabam say, you can do whatever you want. You know, you can do the mode that you feel is, do you do your favourite mode. Yeah, but the runestones aren't in there. It's not our problem, say Kabam. That's really the kind of thing. If I would love to, for the fact, if there was the runestones in a solo event, right, and to take Kabam at their word, you can do a certain amount of points in either Battlegrounds, either incursions, either in arena, either in whatever, and by choosing that piece of content, you get what we're all fighting for. That means it would stop any kind of bottlenecking or annoyance that would be in Battlegrounds for those that don't really want to do it but have to do it this month in order to get the runestones. But of course, that's kind of like not how Kabam want to operate. It's a case of going, oh, you don't have to do everything. Okay. Yeah. I think it's good to see the dialogue. It is definitely good to see the dialogue with this. Of course, everyone's experience is going to be different from each other's. And of course, with Battlegrounds being the focal point of this particular video, Bring Popcorn says it's been constant for every game mode, which is why it was bound to happen. It happened in AQAW, people with 21k prestige playing map 6 and gold levels because the rewards don't justify the efforts. Even with Event Quest, there is a lot of people asking to go to the gauntlet after completion, have to explore. Just wait a few months. People will say that the cost of raids is too high to do them monthly. I mean, it may be a case based on what you get back from it. Apart from the 7,500 7-star shards, it's actually, and the extra rank up materials at the end of it, it's not too bad, but of course it is, it's pricey for RNG rewards for the best part. I'm not camping, but 40% win rate isn't going to get me out of victory. Victory track, I think it is. No, Vibranium. Anyway, haven't fought a single match above my decent deck. Has an automatic advantage. Matchmaking not doing me any favors. So yeah, it's very mixed, isn't it, as to like what is affecting particular players, how things are kind of like, going. I mean, Diamond rarely see matches that are easy wins. Not sure what my win rate would actually be, but it's probably around 60%. If those odds work out perfectly, then it would take 15 games for me to go up a tier. Essentially, I would need 45 games to get through the last 3 tiers and get into Gladiator Circuit. It takes maybe 4 to 6 games to clear the objective every 2 days. It would be 2 weeks or more before I would get into Gladiator Circuit. I don't have the incentive to do any more than the objectives, and there's no guarantee that it works out nicely like that. I don't really think anyone is camping out. I think it's just too much of a grind for anyone to be bothered. I totally agree. Totally agree. No, I like doing, you might think, well, Rich, you do like a monthly or kind of a seasonally kind of like predictions on champions that would be effective for the mode, and like that's true, and I do like doing those. A lot of the time I will do them for myself and anyone else that cares to kind of like watch those videos or kind of read the guides, just to like help out when or if I was able to go in on a season. But as I said, like I have to do a certain amount based on Alliance requirements, and even though that it's quite accommodating for me to say we don't have to do as much, I still want to do something because it just helps out to like with the Alliance. Like if everybody's putting in about 300 to 400k, is 400k being the kind of the ideal. If I'm just putting in nothing, then it's not It's not really it. You know, I'm currently sitting on 100k that I've put in. My plan is to do at least, fingers crossed, 400k by the end of play of this particular season. But of course, the problem is, because I'm doing this, I'm causing a problem because I don't do it excessively to a point of getting higher up in Gladiator Circuit, so therefore I'm part of the bottleneck. So again, my apologies to anybody that's stacked above when it comes to matchups. But also, here's the thing: if I make mistakes, and I've had mistakes, I've made a fair few mistakes when it comes to like picking the champions, not being able to draft specific champions, but also stuff where AI. Mainly inputs. Inputs I found to be the worst in this particular season of Battlegrounds. But if MCOC went with no input problems, it would be another game. Other games have better inputs than other things. Oh, and I actually like this idea, which is having a seasonal type thing, or maybe like ongoing, where it's like limited to certain starage, like it's 3-star maxes all the time, and like it just puts a level playing field across it. So therefore, it's 100% on skill, as opposed to going, hey, you know that high ranked 200 signature Sasquatch at 7-star, rank 3. Well, look, you can't use that on defense anymore. You have to use this, which is kind of more of a fair platform. You're on fair platforms. You're balanced on stuff. I'd love that, but it'll never happen. It's Kabam. That'll never happen. At the end of the day, if I'm causing a problem, I'm causing a problem. But also, other people will have different takes on that particular thing. You know, as a Rhythm Device says that I have a big account, and I've been facing mainly big accounts, even if I am currently in Diamond 1. Win a few, lose a few. A few days ago, I had 3 wins, 7 lost string. It's like spinning in circles this season. And that's the problem, because the ones that you win, you're stomping on people, and the ones that obviously are winning above, are they stomping down on other people? It's such a difficult thing. But as I said, the problem is that you're having to do Battlegrounds, where a lot of people may not want to do it theoretically. Also, this is going to be the knock-on effect of more people becoming Valiant, more spenders having access to tier 4 alphas, possibly, more access to rank 2 7-stars, more harder hitting defensive champions, more harder hitting offensive champions. There's a lot of knock-on effects that, as I said, this all will go back to Kabam. Kabam need to always, which a lot of the time they don't do a great job at this, but they need to create, and I've put this quite eloquently, as an ecosystem of competitive engagement. So they've just got to make sure that in that they make everything within that particular system fair, which at the moment, and I don't think they ever will, get that right. Whether it be matchmaking, whether it be the needs, wants and desires to get involved with it, Battlegrounds, to get something out of it, to get better rewards out of it, to make better progression, to make more time. I'd say time. Time's not a resource in this game. Well, here's the thing. You don't want to sink hours into a particular mode and get nothing out of it. But yeah, in any case, I want to end the video there. Lots of things to think about. What are your thoughts on the matter? Put it in the comment section down below. Have a lovely Tuesday, and I'll see you all in the next video, whatever that will be. Cheers. Bye-bye.